Karl Rove is a former Deputy White House Chief of Staff and a Fox News contributor. Karl, thank you for taking time. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We're going to give you a little indigestion here because, as Kimberly Strassel writes in her Wall Street Journal piece, she says Democrats have a Waukesha problem. In there, she writes, crime is soaring nationally after progressives spent years pushing to water down bail rules, forego prosecutions, release prisoners, and even defund the police. What do you make of this really Democrat policy of being for softer on crime?
Yeah, well, it's a big electoral problem for them because it puts them square against a large majority of Americans. Large majority of Americans believe that we need to have support law enforcement, that a principal function of our government is to keep our communities safe against crime. And you're right, crimes against property and violent crimes are rising in many parts of the country. Here in Texas, we also have an additional problem in that the government is not doing what it needs to do to contain the illegal migration across the border, which oftentimes leads to real demands on the social safety net in border communities, and also raises concerns about the safety of their communities.
How did we get here, Karl, on the same, or the day after, I should say, that we had this massacre in Waukesha where 6 people died when Brooks drove through the Christmas parade? Then the very next day, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweets in favor of reducing cash bail.
Well, and the day before, I think, Waukesha took place, we had the Jonathan Swan interview with Representative Tlaib of Michigan and her support for the BREATHE Act, which calls to empty out all federal prisons within 10 years. Within 10 years, everybody who's incarcerated in a federal penitentiary will be gone. I live here in Austin, Texas. We have a city councilman who wanted to defund the police. He's now running for Congress. So Democrats have got a lot of people in their party who are part of this extreme movement that says we need to make it easy for people to get bail, even if they're violent criminals like the individual in Wisconsin. And we need to defund the police like we've done here in Austin. We've cut police funding. Or in Portland, where they attempted to abolish the police department, or excuse me, Minneapolis, where they attempted to abolish the police department. And the Democrats, every Democrat is going to be forced to be held to account for these. So a normal Democrat is going to say, I'm not with those people over there, but they're going to have to explain that to voters in order to avoid getting swept out of office because they get taken as part of the general problem.
Yeah. To your point, do you think there's a lesson in New York Mayor Eric Adams ran a Democrat on a pro-policing platform? Perhaps other Democrats should take a note.
Oh, absolutely. Not only a pro-police and pro-community safety platform, but a former police officer. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the Democratic Party used to be, particularly in America's big cities, to have a strong relationship with the police and fire, who oftentimes were themselves Democrats. That's no longer the case, and in part it's because the overt hostility of the left wing of the Democratic Party towards law enforcement in general, police in specific, and their calls for radical changes. I mean, this idea of getting rid of tough bail requirements like they have, like happened in New York City and like has been instituted by DAs across the country is a problem. And remember, this is being funded in many instances by George Soros. He came to Austin, Texas, and spent $1 million in a Democratic primary for the district attorney of Travis County, the capital of Texas. That's a lot of money coming from one guy. And of course, he beat out a respected, moderate, traditional Democrat who had bipartisan support, but beat her in a Democratic primary and installed one of these liberal DAs who's got the permissive attitudes towards criminals.
Karl, just in the few 30, 40 seconds we got left here, I wanted to quickly ask you about in New York, because I cover the border. Look, the border is on fire. It's already, just in the 2 months of this fiscal year, worse than it was last year. But specifically in New York, a bill that would move to allow 800,000 non-citizens. Now, these are people with work permits and green cards. They haven't crossed illegally, but it would allow them to vote in local elections. Your reaction, sir?
I think it's lunacy. What have we come to as a country when we say, okay, you just got off the boat, just got off the airplane, you can vote in the city of New York's elections? I mean, citizenship is a privilege and it's not a right of anybody just simply by circumstance of being here. And for the city of New York to do this is a bad example for the country. It's going to have ramifications with regard to companies looking to locate there, and it's going to create havoc in the elections. Very unfortunate move by the city council. I hope the current mayor and the incoming mayor make it stop.
We shall see. Karl Rove, thank you for taking time joining us from Texas.
Thanks, Riff.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.